Hello friends, welcome back to my session. So today we will be going to check what is the difference between comparable versus comparator in Java. So imagine you have a list of students and each student has a name and marks. Sometimes you can, if you want to sort them, so sometimes you can sort them by their marks, sometimes you can sort them by their name. So Java gives you two tools to compare the objects. So the one is comparable. So comparable is basically used for default comparison like marks. Comparator is basically used for custom comparison like name or any other field. So if we talk about the real life analogy, so think of comparable is like a natural order. Example numbers like -2 is less than 5, so it's basically natural. And think of comparator is like a custom order. For example, sorting students by their names instead of numbers. So let's come on to the code and we'll check so how basically this works. So you could see here I already implemented one class here, student class. So this student class will be implementing the comparable. So let us see, implements comparable, and you can mention your class here. Now if you just mouse over it, so it will say could you please add the unimplemented method, because if you could see this comparable is an inbuilt interface. So I have just implemented, if you could see here, now this will be going to override the method, the abstract method inside the comparable that is named as compare to. So I will do one thing. Very first thing I am gonna just declare few variables here. So like my variable is string name and int marks. Now I'm just creating for now one constructor student, and this is basically a parameterized constructor because I am passing two parameters here, that is string name and int marks. So this dot name equals name and this dot marks equals marks. Now we need to implement this method. So this is where we will be going to define the natural, that is default sorting logic. So we'll do one thing, we'll just give here return this dot marks minus other dot. So you can mention here is as other dot marks. Fine. So now let me explain this line by line what we have done here. So class student implements comparable student. So we are saying, hey Java, I want to make my student class sortable by default. Then there are two variables, string name and int marks. So each student has two properties, that is a name and marks. Then you could see here a default constructor, not default constructor, this is a parameterized constructor with a string name and int marks. So this is a constructor to create the student objects. Then there is a compare to method. So in compare to method, this method tells Java how to compare this student with another student. So you could see here I am just return this dot marks minus other dot marks. So this means if this student has some marks, it will come later, that is in ascending sorting. Okay, ascending sort. Fine. Now I will go to my comparable example class and I will just create a list of students here. So list of student, can mention here students equals new array list Fine. New array list. Okay. So this, what I'm doing is basically I'm just creating one instance for a list. Fine. Now I'm saying students dot add, and you can just give a new student, for example Amit. Let's suppose he secured some 80 marks. Then another one, let's suppose I am saying this as Ravi with 60 marks. Then another one I am saying, for example, Pooja, let's suppose 90. Now I will just do one thing, collections.sort students. Now this basically uses the compare to. So now here I will run the for enhanced loop. For student tests with students, and here I will mention s dot name and s dot marks. So now let me explain you all line by line. So import java.util .arraylist.collections. So these are basically like with these we all need this for the list, array list, and the collections.sorting. So list students, so students equal to new array list, creating a list to hold student objects. Okay. Now adding 3 students with different marks. Then I am saying collections.sort students. So this sorts the list using the compare to method, because students implements the comparable. Fine. Then for enhanced loop I have used here, this basically prints each student after sorting. So let me see, just run it as Java application. Okay, you could see here Ravi 60, Amit 80, Pooja 90. So these are basically sorted by marks. That is basically called as ascending order. Now let us talk about the comparator. So think of comparator like a custom sorter. Whenever you want to sort a list of objects in your own way, like by name, age, salary, etc. So you create a comparator. Now use comparator to sort by name. Let's suppose we want to sort by name, not by marks. So what we will do, I will just do one thing. I'm gonna create one more new class here. So that is sort by name. Okay, I'm just naming it as sort by name. Custom sorting by using comparator. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I will just implements comparator. Here you can mention student just a minute. Perfect. No, this will be, yeah. Okay, we need to sort by name. So now I will say, see, it will ask me to override that method, add unimplemented method. So I will just add this, and here I will do return a dot do one thing here, just pass student A and student B. Now A dot name dot compare to B dot name. So if we talk about line by line, so class sort by name implements comparator. We are creating a separate class to define a custom comparison logic. Fine. Then compare student A comma student B. We are comparing names of these two students, and A dot name A dot name dot compare to B dot name. So I am doing built-in string comparison in Java. So now I will take a new class here with a main function, that is comparator example. Fine. So let us do one thing now. Again, list of students equals new array list. Now students dot add new student Pooja 90 . Again I am saying Amit as 80 and Ravi as 60. Fine. Now I will be using sorting using comparator. What I am saying, sorting using comparator. So I will do collections dot sort, that is students comma new sort by name. Finding. So, and then finally we can run one for enhanced loop for student S students and system dot out dot println this dot name and s dot marks. Fine. Now this, what we try to do, we just try to sort by name, not by marks. Let's run this. So you could see now this is sorted by name. A comes first, then come P, then come R. So what we have done here, we have just created a list of students. We are creating a list of 3 students, and collections dot sort students new sort by name. So this is the most important line here. Okay. Now what we do, basically collection dot sort with comparator. What actually this is doing in case of comparator. So Java's collection dot sort is a built-in method to sort a list. It needs 2 things. The list you want to sort, that is like students, fine, and a comparator object which tells Java how to compare 2 elements. Perfect. Got it? So here we passed students as a list, and new sort by name is our custom sorting rule. That is why we need collections.sort. So it is basically the tool that applies your comparator logic on the list. So when we ran it, we saw the output Amit 80, Pooja 90 and Ravi has 60. Fine. So to summarize this, I just wrote one simple comparison in our Excel file. So comparable, if you talk about, this is used when you want to give your class natural or default sorting, and comparator is basically when you want to give multiple or custom sorting. And if you want to implement in this, you need to implement compare to method. Here you can create many comparators for the same class by name, by marks, etc. as we saw, and this is the only way of sorting at a time, and this comparator basically does not change the original class. So now you know exactly how and when to use comparator and comparable in Java in a way that even anyone can understand. So if this really helped you, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more other such videos. Thank you all. Thanks everyone.